Welcome to our College Briefing show, where we dive into the latest and most interesting happenings around the globe, with a sprinkle of that college spirit. Let's kick things off with a bang, or should I say, a slam dunk. Audi Crooks, a freshman sensation, absolutely dominated the court in her first NCAA tournament game, scoring a whopping 40 points for Iowa State. Talk about making an entrance. It's not every day you see a debut like that, folks. Switching gears to a more political court, we head over to Venezuela, where Maria Corina Machado, a key opposition figure, has been sidelined from running against President Nicolas Maduro. Instead, she's passing the baton to Corina Yuri's Villasana, a professor with a penchant for logic and debating. It's like a political chess game, and we're here for the moves. And for our beauty enthusiasts, we're diving into the world of skincare. Is hyaluronic acid the miracle worker brands claim it to be? A recent study suggests we might want to hold off on crowning it the hydration king. But don't toss out your serums just yet, the beauty world is full of surprises. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into these stories. Please keep watching for more detailed content. Maryland can't stop the bleeding, or Audi Crooks, in season-ending loss. Washington Post. Audi Crooks took a moment to herself, standing near the sideline while her teammates warmed up before she played in the first NCAA tournament game of her career Friday night. The Iowa State freshman closed her eyes, tugged on her shooting shirt and breathed deep. She would need every bit of that oxygen before putting on an absolute show inside Maples Pavilion on Stanford's campus. The All-American Honorable Mention Center was an immovable force for 34 minutes as she poured in 40 points on 18, 4, 20 shooting and added 12 rebounds to lead the number 7 seed Cyclones to a come-from-behind 93-86 victory over number 10 seed Maryland. Maduro's strongest challenger, barred from running, picks a stand-in. Washington Post. Popular Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado has announced that she will end her effort to be on the ballot for this year's election and instead support a substitute candidate. Machado has been barred from challenging President Nicolas Maduro in the election. Her supporters have been encouraged to vote for Corina Yuri's Villasana, a comparatively low-profile academic. The 79-year-old professor of logic and debating theory has taught at Spain's University of Salamanca. Is hyaluronic acid as effective as skincare brands claim? ABC. The claim that hyaluronic acid holds 1,000 times its weight in water has been questioned by a preprint study from the University of California. The research found that there was not much difference in the thermal changes that occurred in a 0.1% hyaluronic acid solution and pure water, leading to the conclusion that the claim is not true. However, the study only looked at one medium-sized hyaluronic acid molecule, meaning that the results may not be applicable to all forms of the compound. Hyaluronic acid is commonly used in beauty products for its moisturizing and anti-aging effects. Land grab. Yahoo! The federal government in the U.S. owns a third of its land, with more than half of the land in the West being federally owned. This is a violation of the U.S. Constitution, which only allows the federal government to retain land needed for certain specific purposes. The federal government's control over the West has had a negative impact on local communities, stifling their economies and straining public services. It is time to re-evaluate federal land management and work towards a balanced approach that respects the natural heritage of the land and the needs of local communities. Freshman Audi Crooks scores 40 as number 7 seed Iowa State beats 10th seed Maryland in NCAA first round. Associated Press. Audi Crooks scored a career-high 40 points on 18, 4, 20 shooting in her NCAA tournament debut as the number 7 seed Iowa State rallied from 20 points down to beat number 10 seed Maryland 93-86. The 20-point comeback was the second largest in NCAA tournament history. Crooks became the 16th player this season to score 40 or more points in a game, and she also had 12 rebounds. Iowa State will now face either Stanford or Norfolk State for a spot in the Portland Regional. Princess Kate is receiving preventative chemotherapy. Here's what that means. ABC. Princess Kate has revealed that she has been diagnosed with cancer following major abdominal surgery. She stated that she is receiving preventative chemotherapy but did not provide any further details about her treatment plan. Preventative chemotherapy is given before or after a primary treatment, such as surgery, to prevent the cancer from returning or to delay its growth. Treatment can vary widely and may involve a combination of chemotherapy drugs, intravenous infusions, pills, or radiation. Some possible side effects of chemotherapy include nausea, hair loss, and fatigue. Recovery times vary, but even when treatment ends, it may take some time for the body to fully recover. Princess Kate will not return to royal duties until she has been cleared by her medical team, but is expected to attend some events when she is feeling well. No details have been provided about the type of cancer she has or her specific treatment plan. Chicago voters reject mansion tax in blow to Mayor Johnson. Bloomberg. Chicago voters have rejected a proposal by Mayor Brandon Johnson to increase taxes on real estate transactions of $1 million or more. The referendum, opposed by 53% of voters, would have allowed the city council to increase transfer levies on high-end residential and commercial property sales. Johnson's campaign aimed to implement the so-called mansion tax to fund efforts against homelessness. However, opponents argued that the tax hike would harm the city's real estate market, while proponents said it would raise $100 million annually. The defeat highlights the challenges Johnson faces in implementing his progressive agenda. March Madness, Iowa State's Audi Crooks drops 40, lead Cyclones to 20-point comeback win over Maryland. Yahoo! Freshman Audi Crooks scored a career-high 40 points, grabbed 12 rebounds and was 18 of 20 from the field as 7th-seeded Iowa State overcame a 20-point first-half deficit to beat 10th-seeded Maryland 93-86 in the first round of the women's NCAA tournament on Friday. Notre Dame football, newfound confidence in fighting Irish. Yahoo! The Notre Dame football team, known frequently as the Irish, is in a good place to compete in a changing college football landscape. The school's administration has made significant progress in recent years by paying top-end salaries to assistant coaches, expanding its NIL program, renovating training facilities and altering its transfer process. The team would join the B10 should its independence no longer be viable. While some may find this prospect painful, it would provide financial security and support from a major player in the industry. Third seed Oregon State trails early but pulls ahead for 73-51 win over number 14 Eastern Washington. The Toronto Star. Third-seeded Oregon State defeated 14th-seeded Eastern Washington 73-51 in the first round of the women's NCAA tournament. Reagan Beers led the Beavers with 19 points and 9 rebounds before she was injured in the third quarter. Oregon State will face the winner of the game between 6th-seeded Nebraska and 11th-seeded Texas A&M in the second round. Military kept hundreds of organs after performing autopsies, Watchdog says. Yahoo! Hundreds of organs removed during autopsies were retained by the U.S. military without notification to families, against their wishes or without recording the wishes of relatives, according to the Department of Defense's Inspector General. The report found that the Armed Forces Medical Examiner System, which conducts autopsies on service personnel and others who die under federal jurisdiction, failed to establish consistent procedures for handling and storing organs. The military is not proactively informing families, but asking people who suspect that their loved one may be included in the 553 specimens to email the military to reclaim the remains. Man charged with murder and stabbing, one fatally, of twin sisters at Brooklyn Deli. Yahoo! A 20-year-old man has been charged with murder and assault for allegedly stabbing 2 teenage twin sisters, one fatally, outside a deli in Brooklyn on March 17. Vio Kelly turned himself into police following the attack. The women, Samia Spain, 19, and her sister Sanaya, were at Slope Natural Plus with their brother when the attacker made advances towards the pair. After Samia refused to give her phone number to the man, he became aggressive. He later returned to the store and began arguing with the sisters. The sister's brother allegedly punched the attacker, who then stabbed both women. What's that degree going to be worth? Yahoo! The Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development, DEED, has released an online tool that shows users the financial consequences of different educational paths. Users can select an academic discipline and degree level and see the median hourly wage those selections portend. The tool also shows where trend lines are going, so users can see whether there is rising demand for a particular profession. The tool's aim is to help students make more informed decisions about their education and career paths, particularly given the cost of tuition and student loans. MPs to meet to consider hearings on Winnipeg lab revelations. The Globe and Mail. Opposition parties in Canada have called for a parliamentary committee meeting to investigate the firing of 2 Canadian scientists from the country's top infectious disease lab. The scientists, Xianghua Qiu and Keting Chang, were found to have provided confidential scientific information to China and had associations with Chinese talent recruitment programs. The government concluded that Dr. Qiu posed a threat to Canada's economic security and Mr. Chang posed a security danger to the government. The scientists are now working in China under new names and collaborating with researchers from the People's Liberation Army. The committee meeting will take place on Tuesday. Source: 49ers attend Terrell Owens' son Tariq's pro day workout. Yahoo! Terry K. Owens, the son of former NFL player Terrell Owens, impressed scouts at his pro day workout with a strong 40-yard dash time of 4.51 seconds. Although he did not receive an invitation to the NFL Scouting Combine, Owens participated in a pro day at the University of Missouri with other prospects from smaller schools. He measured at 6 foot 178 and 200 pounds, slightly smaller than his father who was 6 foot 278 and 213 pounds when he entered the NFL. Terry K. Owens posted a vertical leap of 38.5 inches and a broad jump of 10-4. In his final season of college football, he caught 28 passes for 528 yards and 4 touchdowns. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.